I'll write a simple, engaging 800-word story for part 1 of humanity's dire threat. We'll torch your worlds, in third-person style with basic English as requested. The massive ship called Harmony floated silently above Earth. Inside, Commander Deho stared at the blue planet through the main viewing window. His species had traveled across the stars for centuries, meeting many alien races. All of them had joined the Galactic Coalition, a group of 17 advanced species who worked together. "Commander, scans are complete," said Officer Juri, looking up from her station. "This planet should not have intelligent life according to our old data, but there are billions of humans down there. They have cities, technology, and even basic space travel." Deho frowned. This was unexpected. The Coalition had found Earth by accident when one of their explorer ships detected unusual energy signals. Now, they discovered these humans had already reached their moon and nearby planets on their own. "What level would you rate them?" asked Deho. "Level 3, replied Juri. "They have discovered space travel, but not faster than light technology. At least, that's what our scans show." Deho nodded. Level 3 civilizations were perfect for uplift, the process where the Coalition would guide less advanced species into the galactic community. They would teach humans better technology in exchange for resources and loyalty. "Send the greeting message," ordered Deho. "Request a meeting with their leaders." The humans responded faster than expected. Within hours, they had arranged a meeting in a place called Geneva. Deho selected 5 crew members to join him. They took a small shuttle down to Earth's surface. The human greeting party waited in a large building. Men and women in formal clothes and military uniforms stood in a line. At their center was a woman with short black hair and a confident stance. She wore a uniform with more decorations than the others. "Welcome to Earth," she said. "I am Admiral Minseo of the United Earth Forces. We are honored by your visit." Deho bowed slightly. "I am Commander Deho of the Galactic Coalition. We come in peace and friendship." The meeting moved to a large room with a round table. Deho explained the purpose of their visit. "The Coalition exists to help species like yours," he said. "We can offer you technology, medicine, and knowledge beyond your imagination. In return, Earth would become a protectorate under our guidance." "A protectorate?" asked Admiral Minseo. "What exactly does that mean?" Juri answered. "It means we would help direct your development. You would follow Coalition laws and contribute resources to our shared efforts. It is a great honor." All 17 species in the Coalition began this way. One of the human generals leaned forward. "So we would take orders from you? Follow your rules?" "For your own benefit," said Deho. "Your species is young. You need guidance to avoid the mistakes others have made." The humans exchanged looks. Admiral Minseo's expression hardened. "We appreciate your offer," she said carefully. "But humans have their own path. We would gladly join your coalition as equals, sharing knowledge and resources. But we cannot accept a position where Earth does not govern itself." Deho was surprised. No species had ever rejected protectorate status before. All understood the benefits of coalition guidance. "That is not possible," he explained patiently. "Your civilization is simply too young. You have barely left your solar system. The knowledge we offer comes with responsibility. You must prove yourselves worthy over time." He saw anger flash in Admiral Minseo's eyes, though her voice remained calm. "Commander Deho, perhaps you misunderstand us," she said. "Humans have fought for freedom throughout our history. We will not surrender our independence to anyone, no matter how advanced." Officer Wanbin, the Coalition security chief, stepped forward. "Without meaning disrespect, Admiral, you have little choice. Your technology cannot match ours. The Coalition has brought peace to hundreds of worlds through this system." The room grew tense. The human military officers stiffened in their seats. Admiral Minseo stood slowly. The other humans rose with her. "Let me be perfectly clear," she said, looking directly at Deho. "Earth will join your coalition as an equal partner or not at all. If you attempt to force us into submission, you will regret it." Deho also stood. "You overestimate your capabilities, Admiral. The coalition has faced many challenges in its history. Then let me give you a warning, said Minseo, her voice steady and cold. Humans do not surrender easily. Try to subjugate us and we'll torch your worlds, every single one. The coalition team was shocked by such open defiance. Daeho had expected gratitude, not threats. This meeting is over, he said stiffly. The coalition will consider your position. As they left Earth's atmosphere, Ju-Ri turned to Daeho. They cannot possibly think they can stand against the coalition. Daeho watched the blue planet grow smaller below them. Perhaps not. But I have never seen such confidence in a level 3 species before. We should report this to High Command immediately. What neither of them knew was that humans had been hiding their true capabilities, and the coalition was about to learn a painful lesson about underestimating Earth. The bright lights of coalition headquarters flashed as the emergency meeting began. Fleet Admiral Jae-sung paced before the giant holographic display showing Earth and its nearby colony on Proxima Centauri b. This is ridiculous, he said, waving his hand at the image. One small planet threatens the entire coalition? They have barely left their solar system. The 17 council members watched from their seats. Each represented a different alien species in the Galactic Coalition. Admiral Minseo's exact words were, "We'll torch your worlds," said Commander Daeho, who had led the first contact mission. I believe she was serious. Jae-sung laughed. With what? Our scans show they have basic ion engines and chemical rockets. They cannot possibly threaten even one coalition world, let alone all of them. Intelligence specialist Su-min stood up. From her station, she was younger than most officers but had spent weeks studying all available data on humans. Sir, with respect, I think we should be careful, she said quietly. Human history shows a pattern we haven't seen in other species. What pattern? Asked one of the council members. Su-min touched her control panel. The display changed to show images of human history, ancient wars, modern conflicts, and technological advancements. Most species develop technology slowly, over thousands of years, she explained. Humans went from horse-drawn wagons to space travel in less than 200 years. Their technology grows faster when they feel threatened. Jae-sung crossed his arms. That doesn't mean they can match our power. We have 17 worlds and thousands of ships. True, said Su-min. But humans have something unusual. They hide their true strength. In every major conflict in their history, one side has concealed capabilities from the other. The room fell silent as the council considered this information. Finally, council leader Tae-won spoke. What do you suggest, Specialist Su-min? Caution, sir. More observation before we decide. Jae-sung slammed his fist on the table. Nonsense. If we show weakness now, other protectorate worlds might get ideas. We must act quickly and decisively. After 2 hours of debate, the council made its decision. They would make an example of the human colony on Proxima Centauri b. It was small, with only 45,000 people, but taking it would show Earth the futility of resistance. 3 days later, 3 massive coalition warships surrounded the colony called New Hope. The settlement looked primitive compared to coalition standards, simple dome structures, basic defense systems, and a small spaceport. From the command ship, Captain Minji opened communications with the colony. Attention human settlement, she announced. This colony is now under coalition protection. You have 24 hours to evacuate or accept coalition authority. The screen flickered and a man with gray hair appeared. Governor Hyun-woo looked calm, despite the 3 warships hovering above his home. We reject your demand, he said simply. New Hope remains independent. Minji was surprised by his confidence. You misunderstand, Governor. This is not a negotiation. We have 3 warships against your small colony. You cannot win. Governor Hyun-woo smiled slightly. Captain, please, relay a message to your leaders. Tell them exactly what I say. This is your only warning. Leave our system now. Minji laughed. A warning? From you to us? Yes, said Hyun-woo. We do not wish for violence. But we will defend our home. The transmission ended. Minji turned to her crew, shaking her head. Prepare for ground deployment, she ordered. Minimal force. We want to show strength, not destroy them. In his private quarters, Second Officer Ji-ho reviewed the scans of the colony again. Something bothered him about the readings. Computer, analyze energy signatures below the surface, he said. The computer worked for a moment. Analysis incomplete. Unusual interference detected. Ji-ho frowned. He had served in 20 first contact missions, and something felt wrong about this one. He called the bridge. Captain, I recommend we delay the operation, he said. There's something strange about... Second Officer, Minji interrupted. The Council has ordered us to secure this colony by tomorrow. Are you questioning those orders? Ji-ho hesitated. No, Captain, but my scans show unusual energy patterns. I don't think... Thank you for your concern, she said coldly. We will proceed as planned. As night fell over New Hope, the colonists didn't panic or try to escape. Instead, they went about their business calmly. Children were moved to central buildings. Adults took positions at seemingly ordinary facilities. From orbit, Ji-ho watched, with growing unease. These humans were not acting like a defeated people. They were preparing for something. He looked again at his scans of the underground structures. What were they hiding down there? What had intelligence specialist Su Min meant about humans concealing their true capabilities? Ji-ho had a terrible feeling they were about to find out. The morning sky above New Hope Colony glowed with the red light of Proxima Centauri. Inside the Coalition flagship, Captain Minji prepared for the operation. Begin the first phase, she ordered. Disable their communication systems and power grid. Officer Hana nodded and pressed several buttons on her control panel. Energy weapons charged, Captain, targeting their main power station. The massive ship hummed as its weapon systems activated. A beam of bright blue energy shot down toward the colony, hitting the main power facility. Coalition soldiers watched the monitors, expecting to see the colony go dark. Instead, the lights stayed on. Captain, their power systems are still functioning, reported Officer Hana with confusion in her voice. The energy readings are unchanged. Minji frowned. That's impossible. Fire again. Maximum power. The ship fired a second, stronger beam. Again, the colony systems remained operational. Second Officer Ji-ho studied his scanner readings. Captain, I'm detecting unusual energy patterns below the surface. I think they have underground backup systems. Fine, said Minji impatiently. Begin landing procedures. We'll take control on the ground. Transport ships departed from all 3 coalition vessels, carrying 500 soldiers total. They approached the colony's main square, where they expected minimal resistance. As the transports neared the landing zone, Governor Hyun-woo stood in the colony's control center, surrounded by his staff. He looked at the main screen showing the incoming coalition forces. They ignored our warning, he said softly. Activate Project Prometheus. A young technician named Tai Jin pressed his hand against a hidden panel. The floor beneath them rumbled as hidden machinery came to life. In orbit, Second Officer Ji-ho's eyes widened as his scanners detected massive energy spikes beneath the colony. Captain, energy readings are off the charts. We need to recall the transports immediately. What are you talking about? Minji demanded. Before Ji-ho could answer, the colony changed. What looked like simple buildings suddenly transformed. Metal panels shifted, revealing advanced weapon systems. The ground itself opened in several places, and sleek missile launchers rose up. All ships retreat, Ji-ho shouted into the communication system. Get the transports back now. But it was too late. Beams of intense white light shot up from the colony. Unlike anything the Coalition had encountered before, these energy weapons bypassed their advanced shields completely. The first Coalition warship was hit directly. The beam cut through its hull like it was made of paper. Secondary explosions rippled through the vessel before it broke apart. On the flagship's bridge, the crew watched in horror as their sister ship was destroyed in seconds. How is this possible? Whispered Captain Minji. Their weapons shouldn't be this advanced. The second coalition warship fired all its weapons at the colony, but a shimmering energy field appeared, absorbing the attacks without damage. "Captain, we need to retreat," urged Jiho. Minji stared at the screen, unable to believe what she was seeing. Her ship shuddered as it took a glancing hit from one of the colony's weapons. "All forces, full retreat," she finally ordered. "Get us out of this system." The remaining transport ships scrambled to return to the warships as more weapons emerged from the colony. The coalition forces had never faced anything like this technology before. As they prepared to jump away from the system, Jiho detected new energy signatures. "Captain, multiple objects approaching at high speed." The view screen showed what appeared to be a fleet of ships emerging from behind Proxima Centauri's larger planets. They were sleek, black vessels with blue energy running along their hulls. "Human ships," said Officer Hana. "At least 50 of them." "Impossible," Minji whispered. "Our intelligence said they had no significant space fleet." A communication request flashed on their screen. Minji hesitated, then accepted it. Admiral Minseo's face appeared. She looked calm and professional, not like someone leading a desperate defense. "Captain Minji," she said, "I believe Governor Hyunwoo warned you to leave our system." "How did you get here so quickly?" Minji demanded. "You shouldn't have faster-than-light technology yet?" Admiral Minseo smiled slightly. "There are many things about humans you don't know. This was a small demonstration of our capabilities." In the background, Jiho was analyzing the human ships. "Captain, their jump signatures don't match any known FTL technology. They're using something completely different from our methods." Minji realized with growing horror that they had completely misjudged humanity. These weren't primitive beings, needing guidance. They had been hiding their true technology all along. "The Coalition will not forget this," Minji said, trying to sound confident despite her ship's damaged state. "Good," replied Admiral Minseo. "Tell your leaders exactly what happened here. Tell them we don't want war, but we will not be ruled by anyone. You have 1 hour to leave our space." As the human ships took formation around them, Minji gave the order to retreat. The Coalition forces jumped away, leaving behind one destroyed warship and countless questions. The news would spread quickly through Coalition space. Humans were not what they seemed, and their warning about torching worlds no longer seemed like empty words. The Grand Council chamber of the Galactic Coalition buzzed with nervous energy. All 17 representatives sat at their curved table, with Fleet Admiral Jae-sung standing before them. His usual confidence was shaken. "The attack on New Hope Colony was a complete failure," he reported. "We lost one warship, and the others were damaged. The humans displayed technology far beyond what our intelligence indicated," the council members whispered among themselves. This was unprecedented. No protectorate species had ever successfully resisted coalition forces. "How did we miss this?" asked Council Leader Taewon. "Our scans showed them at Level 3 development." Intelligence Specialist Sumin stepped forward. Though junior in rank, she had become the Coalition's leading expert on humans over the past weeks. "They deliberately concealed their true capabilities," she explained. "Our scans only detected what they wanted us to see. The energy weapons they used against our ships were unlike anything in our database, and their faster-than-light technology appears fundamentally different from our jump drives." A representative from the oldest Coalition species raised his hand. "Could they be getting help from outside the Coalition? Perhaps an unknown civilization?" "We considered that," said Sumin. "But all evidence suggests they developed this technology themselves. They simply advanced much faster than any species we've encountered before." The meeting continued for hours as they debated what to do about the human problem. Some council members wanted to bring the full might of the Coalition fleet against Earth. Others urged caution and more study of human capabilities. Their discussion was interrupted when an aide rushed into the chamber. "Councilors, we have detected a human ship approaching Coalition headquarters." The room fell silent. Coalition headquarters was in a star system 20 light-years from Earth. No human vessel should have been able to reach it so quickly or find its exact location. "One ship?" asked Jae-sung. "Are they attacking?" "No, sir. They're broadcasting on open channels. They're requesting permission to land and speak with the council. It's Admiral Minseo herself. Shock rippled through the chamber. The human admiral had boldly traveled into the heart of Coalition space. After a tense debate, the council agreed to meet with her. Security forces lined the docking bay as the human ship landed. It was smaller than Coalition vessels but sleek and advanced in design. Admiral Minseo walked out with just 3 companions. She wore a simple blue uniform with minimal decorations. Her calm confidence made the heavily armed security forces seem almost excessive. In the council chamber, Minseo stood in the center as all representatives watched her carefully. "Thank you for agreeing to meet with me," she began. "I come in peace, seeking to avoid unnecessary conflict." "You attacked Coalition forces," said Jae-sung angrily. "We defended our colony after giving clear warnings," Minseo replied evenly. "Just as we warned during first contact." Council leader Tae-wan leaned forward. "Admiral, how did you find our headquarters? This location is one of the Coalition's most closely guarded secrets." Minseo smiled slightly. "We've been observing the Coalition for over 50 years. We have small automated observation posts throughout your territory." The revelation stunned the council. Humans had been watching them long before official contact. "Impossible," whispered one representative. "Our detection systems would have found them." "Your detection systems look for certain energy signatures," explained Minseo. "We designed our observation posts specifically to avoid those signatures." Su-min looked at her data pad, pieces falling into place. "That's how you learned our language so quickly, and why you weren't surprised by our appearance." Minseo nodded. "We believe in being prepared." "Why reveal this now?" asked Taiwan. "You're showing your hand." "Because I want you to understand something fundamental about humanity," said Minseo. "We could have attacked at any time over the past decades. We didn't. We don't want war with the Coalition. We want peaceful cooperation between equals." The meeting lasted for hours. Minseo proposed a new relationship. Earth would join the Coalition not as a protectorate but as a full member from the beginning. In exchange, humans would share some of their unique technological developments. As the meeting ended, hardliners like Jae-sung still pushed for military action. Others saw the wisdom in Minseo's proposal. The council remained divided. As Minseo prepared to leave, Su-min approached her privately. "You took an enormous risk coming here," she said. "Our military could have captured or killed you." Minseo smiled. "Sometimes you need to show trust to build trust." Then she added more quietly, "Besides, I was never really at risk." Su-min realized with a start that the human ship probably had capabilities they hadn't revealed yet. And Admiral Minseo had backup plans they couldn't imagine. The diplomatic chess match had just begun. The urgent message flashed across every screen in Coalition headquarters. Intelligence Chief Kyung-ho's face was grim as he addressed the emergency council session. "We have confirmed that humans have been present in Coalition space far longer than we realized," he reported. "Our agents have discovered hidden observation posts on 17 major worlds." The council members looked at each other in shock. One representative stood up. "How is this possible? Some of those worlds have our most advanced security systems." Kyung-ho displayed images on the main screen. Small, innocent-looking devices attached to orbital platforms, buried in remote areas, or disguised as common technology. "Human observation technology uses principles we hadn't considered," he explained. "They don't emit energy signatures our scanners detect." Council leader Tae-wan rubbed his temples. The situation with humans grew more complex by the day. For 2 weeks since Admiral Minseo's bold visit, the council had been locked in debate. "Have these devices transmitted military information?" asked one worried representative. "We believe so," said Kyung-ho. "They seem designed to monitor our defenses specifically." Fleet Admiral Jae-sung, who had been pushing for military action against Earth, stood up triumphantly. "This proves humans cannot be trusted. They've been spying on us for decades. We must strike now before they attack." The council chamber erupted in argument. Some agreed with Jae-sung. Others urged caution, pointing out that despite having this information, humans had never used it against them. The debate was interrupted when the main doors opened. Admiral Min Seo walked in, accompanied by 2 human assistants. She had returned to Coalition space for the final negotiations. "I apologize for the interruption," she said calmly, "but I believe you're discussing our observation network." The room fell silent. Jae-sung pointed an accusing finger at her. "You admit to spying on Coalition worlds? This is proof of hostile intent." Min Seo looked at him steadily. "We observed. We did not attack. There's an important difference." She walked to the center of the room and placed a small device on the floor. It projected a holographic display showing dozens of star systems. "You're right to be concerned about security," she said. "But you should know that observation is not our only capability." The hologram zoomed in on 3 Coalition worlds. They were heavily defended planets with massive orbital platforms and defense systems. "To demonstrate our true capabilities and intentions," Min Seo continued, "I will now temporarily disable the primary defense networks on these 3 worlds." Jae-sung laughed. "Impossible. Those systems are isolated. They cannot be accessed remotely." Min Seo looked at her wrist device. "It is now exactly noon by Coalition Standard Time." On the holographic display, the defense networks on all 3 worlds suddenly went dark. Emergency signals began flashing. Frantic communications came in from the affected planets. Their defense systems had completely shut down without warning or explanation. No alarms had triggered. No intrusion had been detected. The council chamber was completely silent. "The systems will restart in exactly 5 minutes, said Min Seo. "No permanent damage has been done." She looked around the room, meeting the eyes of each council member. "We could have done this at any time over the past 20 years. We could have disabled your defenses and attacked. But that is not what humans want." Exactly 5 minutes later, the defense systems across all 3 worlds came back online. "How did you do that?" whispered Su-min, the intelligence specialist who had first warned about underestimating humans. "Your systems rely on certain principles of quantum computing," explained Min Seo. "We discovered vulnerabilities in those principles decades ago." She turned to address the full council again. "We don't need to torch your worlds. We could have done far worse without firing a single shot. But instead, we're here offering partnership." 3 days later, the council voted. By a narrow margin, they agreed to accept Earth as a full member of the coalition rather than a protectorate. It was unprecedented in the 1,000-year history of the Galactic Coalition. 6 months later, a new ship launched from Earth. Named Cooperation, it was built with both human and coalition technology. On its bridge stood Admiral Min Seo and Commander Daeho, who had led the first contact mission. "Where are we headed?" asked Daeho. "A newly discovered civilization in the Andromeda sector," said Min Seo. "Young, but promising." "Will they be ready for contact with the coalition?" Min Seo smiled. "Probably not. Few are. But this time we'll approach them as equals from the start." Behind them, human and coalition crew members worked side by side. The torch that humans had threatened to light had instead become a beacon, showing a new way forward for all species.